All right, welcome back, everyone. Game 2, Ohio State versus University of Wisconsin. Going out, we've got OSU on the red side, rocking their scarlet colors, and Wisconsin on the blue side. So let's see right now, coming on out, adjustments that have been made in their drafts. We unfortunately do not get to see their drafts, but we do get to see what their picks are. So what do we got so far, Sinful Wishing?
So we got a Kenan versus Sion in the top lane, Kha'Zix and Camille in the jungle, Galio and Anivia in mid, and Varus and Nami versus Caitlyn and Zyra. We can see that the Zyra is now on the side of OSU instead of Wisconsin. We can see the Galio is now on the Wisconsin side instead of the OSU. And we can see a very interesting jungle where Camille, instead of being in that top lane, is now in that jungle side for OSU. How do you feel about that?
So I've seen Camille jungle a handful of times. It can kind of work in similarity to like a Kha'Zix or a Jarvan in terms of that burst damage you can dish out, and especially that D-Nice is rocking that Electrocute, mainly doing that domination tree. He will be able to do a lot of damage if he does manage to get in there and get ahead. The hook shot does provide a lot of mobility, but there's not necessarily reliable hard CC, so she will be relying on a Caitlyn trap or a Zyra Strangle Thorns or any of the CC from both the Anivia or Sion, but we're going to see what happens here. If you have Sion ghosting in the top lane, making it seem like Camille might have started on the red side or the blue side, so they're going to just have to take a wild guess on which side they start on and adjust from there.
So with the Galio pick now, do you think Anivia's going to have trouble fighting this Galio with all that magic resistance like we saw in the previous game?
Oh, we'll definitely have some trouble, but the advantage that I feel Dare to Defy will have, you can always see when Galio is charging up for his E, so you can very easily just pop up your wall and immediately stop him from coming in.
That, and you probably could even get a stun off to stop him right into his track, so it really leaves him open and vulnerable for any quick stuns and stops with that wall. So yeah, I think the Galio is going to have a lot more trouble against this Anivia than the Galio had last time versus the Xerath on the opposite side. So yeah.
Absolutely, and that's just because just so much more utility with the Anivia, and Galio is a fairly predictable champion in terms of your abilities, so it's just tougher to win if it's not as skilled of a matchup there.
For sure. Now, do you think this Kenan's going to go AP or AD? Did start with a Doran's play, but that could just be for the sustain early on, and he could be going AP. What do you think?
So, Kenan does typically start off with Doran's Blade, regardless of AP or AD, and that is just for the HP durability, since you don't rely on much mana, so a Doran's Ring is not necessarily as necessary early. But I have the feeling that they might go with... it's going to be tough. I feel like they are going to want to go with the AP Kenan because of the way their composition is built, with Galio being able to ult in. You can have the Kenan do the ult flash, being able to get a lot of damage out with the Slicing Maelstrom, and then just have the Galio jump in on all those CC targets and continue to stack that. But it'll leave to see. But we do have a fight breaking out. Dare Defy taken down to about half HP, down to about a third now to that combination of Galio, but does still have the passive up. And we have Camille floating in the wings.
Yeah, and if you notice, fight breaking out again.
Yep, Imperial Trinity taken very low. They do burn the Flash Heal and Ignite. Very low, but she might survive. But, remind me, Remy, does flash forward that false insecurity that Imperial Trinity had of they're backing off. That was not the case. First Blood, Ohio State. Remind me, Remy and Bacon Seeker taking them down, burning 3 summoners or 2 summoners, but they do get that extra gold with that First Blood.
Yeah, the Caitlyn's now going to be popping off just like last time. Just going to be harassing this Nami and just pushing in this lane to the max of the ability. So I feel like this bot lane, once again, is going to be a little bit of a losing lane for Wisconsin, where they're going to have to be on the more defensive side and really hoping that their Kha'Zix have some great ganks to try to help them out.
Oh yeah, definitely going to be advantage Ohio State so far.
Yes, and it seems like the Camille's going to be backing from the jungle. The Sion's now harassing the Kenan, which is very interesting. Kenan's not able to really hold up his own. The Sion's just getting all this quick burst damages. How do you feel about Sion? Do you think he's a little overpowered right now? Do you think people just aren't having a good time trying to fight him? Maybe the matchups are just poor?
Yeah, I definitely think that Sion is sitting pretty nice and dandy at the moment. He is taking advantage of a lot of just his general durability. We do have a fight breaking out, though, in the bottom lane. A little bit of damage taken out. Oh, but Juke's coming in from Remind Me Remy, utilizing that 90 caliber net does avoid that. But back on the topic of that, Sion. So Sion is just a frankly very annoying champion, utilizing the fact that he just gets obscenely tanky later in the game, has some fairly low cooldown crowd control, and just that second life that does a ton of damage. The Unstoppable Onslaught does a lot there, but another jump in there. Dean Ice facing off against the Johnson in the jungle. He does have the isolation damage due to being alone, but backs on off because Dare to Defy is searching around at that area. Another fight coming in. More damage taken out. Dare to Defy taken extremely low. We got the hook shot jumping in. Flash burn. Dare to Defy's flash burned as well, but we've got a party in the mid lane. 3 people coming on up here.
Cool.
Stun from Dare to Defy to stop the attack, even though the Johnson does already have the jump off. Still got the stun proc.
That was really well played by Dare Defy. Being able to get that stun off and 3-man stun actually probably saved his life. I feel like if that Kha'Zix wasn't stunned, he probably would have taken that Nivea out with this quick burst, especially since he's running Electrocute. He gets that extra insane amount of burst, and he seems like he's going to be doing another fight in the mid.
Oh, they're coming right on back. This might be the end for us. No flash available. And the auto, the Nivea auto takes him down. That is just... When you get killed by a Nivea auto, that is just absolute feels bad.
Yeah, and I kind of understand why that Galio got killed there. He was not expecting the Camille to come back a second time, especially after they scared him off that first time. And so he probably felt very comfortable in the lane that he could probably farm up still, but the Camille's got so much range and mobility from that extension.
Oh, there we go. He wanted to try to get that extra damage off. He saw that Mike was low. Wanted to use that Unstoppable Onslaught to get on in, but unfortunately the Flash was still available. It does trade Flash for Ultimate. Ultimate is on a much shorter cooldown, and there is no teleport available for Mike, so he's going to have to walk his way up to that lane and probably lose his entire wave for farm.
Yeah, that's a shame. He's definitely going to need to start playing more smarter and being more careful of the Sion's little pokes here and there with his E and stuff. Because I feel like the Kennen's just getting poked silly and taking damage for no reason. And that's probably why he's right now so far behind in the lane. Right now we can see a whole entire 25 CS lead over him right now. Just from the Sion bullying the Kennen out of it. Let's also run down a couple more things. It seems like the bot lane's even. Right now the Anivia's a little higher than the Galio as well. So definitely seeing that the mid lane for OSU is going a lot better than than Wisconsin in both games. But it seems like the difference here is that Wisconsin's just not be able to utilize the Galio's effectiveness of bullying the other mid lane opponent as much as OSU used from the previous game.
Yeah, absolutely. Now you've got that stacking Seer on Dare to Defy. A little bit of damage taken from Bacon Seeker. We've got another fight breaking on out. There is no flash available from Mike. He utilizes that Slicing Maelstrom, but it will not be enough thanks to the Hextech Ultimatum and the devastating smash from Sion. Taken down right away, and that could possibly even be first tower from Ohio State in that top lane. Another fight breaking on out, though. Stuns and taunts used left and right. Dare to Defy is about at half HP. He does still have that pass available. He needs to approach towards that turret, but he's baiting in to get Dean Ice back in there. Remember, there's no flash available on the Frosty. Taken down. Uses that heroic charge to come right in. Flash burn by the Johnson to take down Dean Ice. Unexpected there with the Kha'Zix's Void, Assault of the Void, but still overall 1-for-1. I'd say for now advantage Ohio State.
Yeah, there was a lot of happening right there in that mid lane. And it seems like even more is happening in the top lane as the Kennen pokes this Sion who's playing dangerously close to this tower, but the tower seems like it might be going down soon. So it seems like this Kennen has lost top, sadly, and Sion's going to be remaining victorious as I believe first tower gold will now be going to him, which will help assist in his advantage over this Kennen, which now I wonder if the bot lane of, if the bot lane of Ohio State will be trying to transition towards a mid and bot, trying to move it now, but it seems like a fight's breaking down in the bot.
Yep, both that Chain of Corruption is taken down. 4 in the bottom lane. You've got the Tidal Wave, Chain of Corruption, and you've got the Heroic Entrance. Flash blown, but still taken down from the burn damage from the Anivia. Flash blown by Versus as well, but he steps in the trap. He wanted that cupcake, and unfortunately, that cupcake was a little bit too sweet for you, man. Too many calories. You were not able to get away, my friend.
If you notice that the Caitlyn from both last game and this game has been great on the placement of the traps. Not trying to trap them while in the lane, but setting up for these counter ganks to be able to try to take down the people like the Varus and the Kazakhs who keep coming in.
Yep, we do have another fight breaking out here. Let's see what happens here. It looks like he's most certainly dead. Utilizing that 90 caliber net to avoid any and all damage from the Johnson. And the Johnson is now in the fountain, but we have another fight breaking out. Dare Defy coming on in, but Bacon Seeker is alive and well, and he wants to make sure that Dare Defy knows he can have some bacon, but he is taken down again. And Ohio State again just running on over. We got Proxy Scion. He was playing Proxy in the top lane before that tower creep, and now he's playing Proxy for Remind Me Remy to take down that bottom lane tower.
Yeah, it's just crazy that this thing. It's almost like this movie I like to call watch. It's Indiana Jones. You know when the boulder falls and it starts tumbling down. Well, that's right now Ohio State, and they are just crushing Wisconsin in this laning phase. I don't even want to see what happens when they get into grouping phase. How much damage they could output onto Wisconsin.
Oh, absolutely. And that second tower taken down right away. The boulder is definitely getting bigger, stronger, and faster. And they better hope they've got a nice good whip and an awesome hat to help them out, because I'm not even sure if Harrison Ford can get him way out of this. But they're jumping in. Chain of Corruption, Tidal Wave blown. Flash is blown. Teleport coming in from the Feisty.
Ooh.
Oh, and Dean Ice has jumped in. Dodges!
That was good.
The Galio E with the Hextech Ultimatum, and they're not done. They're out of mana in the support. Infinite Trinity is out of mana. He might be out of life, but they're shut down on Dean Ice. And they might be going a little bit too far, and Nether kill goes against Ohio State. 2 kills now for Emerald Plastic. Definitely starting to get that Varus turned online. He does a farm advantage and a kill advantage. However, he still has not completed that Rage Blade yet. The Infinity Edge is still completed on the Caitlyn, giving Caitlyn the advantage there in the bot lane.
Yeah, I think OSU kind of overstepped their boundaries right there. They were doing really well, but the Scion got a little caught out right there, and the Camille was biting off more than she could chew in the end. So I like the OSU, how they've been playing so far, but they need to relax a little bit and not be so aggressive, because if they keep giving these Varus these kills, they keep giving these Cannons these kills, this can change real quick, and the fight breaking down bot.
Yeah, broken out again with that unstoppable onslaught. Taken down, and it's a 3 versus 1. He did not want anything to be a part of that, and just said, just take me back to the fountain, everyone. Another fight breaking out in mid lane. Dare Defy again, fighting this Gallia, but feeling like, hey, guess what, bro? You haven't built up any magic resist yet, so I'm going to just start doing damage to you. A ton of damage from that. And again, the Nivea auto takes him down. Dare Defy taking full advantage of the fact that he's already got the Abyssal Mask completed, and there is no Abyssal Mask to be completed on the VC. And in fact, he went for the Rod of Ages instead, so not even opting for that extra magic resist, just going for that HP, mana, and AP.
Yeah, I'm going to say that right now. I'm going to take it back a little bit. OSU, you can do what you want. I was saying that you're overstepping your boundaries. You guys can just keep on steamrolling and doing all this damage, and it's just it's basically at this point it's a level advantage and item advantage that OSU has over Wisconsin, and as long as they keep this pressure applied to them, they could just finish this game so quickly, because Wisconsin has a lot of a team comp that is based off of items. Kennan's damage comes from most of his items. Varus's damage comes from that Runsu's Rage Blade, which he hasn't even built yet. And Galio, even though he has strong base damage, without Abyssal Mask, he's just going to get stomped on by this Anivia. So, in the end, I feel like if OSU keeps up this pressure, they could definitely end this game before even 20 minutes.
Oh, absolutely, and they do secure that first Ocean Dragon. Speaking of level advantage, you had a 3-level advantage from Dare Defy over to PC. Now it's closed the gap to 2, but just even right there, that's a level 2 Anivia ultimate of that Glacial Storm versus that level 1. Just so much damage being able to be brought out from that Anivia, and it helps for Dare Defy's case, where he gets that bonus damage every single time a target is hit by frost damage. He will be able to get that extra damage off with his E.
Now, do you feel like that Rod of Ages that Galio was building, I feel like he shouldn't have built that. I feel like he should have definitely went for the Abyssal Mask first. I think that was a poor buy. I understand where he was coming from, but I feel like after he saw that he was losing lane so much, he should have probably changed his build.
Yep, we'll get back to that in just a second. Another kill just taken immediately over. Mike taken down by so much crowd control from the combination of Sion and Anivia. But yeah, back to your point on that. I think what he's going for at this point is they're accepting the fact that they have lost the early game, and he's just trying to stack some stuff up for late game. You know, the later the game goes, at least that rod will stack up. You'll get some more HP, AP, and mana. The Kennen might be able to get online a little bit later in the game. Maybe can get a pick. Zeke's Varus is very strong later in the game. But unfortunately for them, they're playing against an Ohio State squad that also thrives in late game. You get a 6-item Caitlyn, that's a pain in the butt to deal with. You get a fully stacked tier Anivia, that's going to be a pain to deal with. Sion late in the game is just incredibly tanky, and Camille is going for that full damage, looking for probably that Trinity Force build on the jungle. There's going to be an insane amount of damage from both teams, and I think they're just trying to cut their losses on the Wisconsin side and just try to last until late game.
Definitely, and you could see the difference between this game and last game is that the jungler actually grabbed the Rift Tower this time, and they're showing that they're definitely wanting to try to get this over before that they can let Wisconsin get online, which is a very smart idea by OSU.
Yep, they utilize Shelly to get that first tower, that inner tower. Varus is caught on out, ton of damage, flash and heal blown. Taken down to about a quarter HP. Not going to be able to defend much on this tower, and Ohio State's going to get a lot of damage off with Shelly. Probably about, oh, well, that's about it. That's all she wrote. A quarter of HP down on that inhibitor tower, but they have the trap set up. Cupcake line is there, and they have a wave coming on in. Let's see what else Ohio State can do, or if Wisconsin can try to come back in. They're jumping in. They're utilizing all the ultimates. Only managed to secure one person in the ultimate, and still ends up dead. And Ohio State retaliates with 3 kills on the side of the Buckeye squad. Maybe making that 4. 4 kills for 1 on the side of the Buckeyes. That's just a testament right there to how far ahead they are in terms of the items. Just an insane lead from Ohio State here.
Yeah, I could definitely see where they were coming from. They were trying to get this, like, they were like, we need to start this team fight and change it around and win it, but they were just too far ahead, and by the time the Kazakhs even got into the center, Galio hadn't even ulted on him, and he was already down to 1/4 his health. So, I just think in the end, Ohio State just is way too far ahead of Wisconsin and just have no way of, look at there, right there, that Caitlyn destroyed the Nami right there, popping another kill for the Caitlyn, and just adding to that lead that Ohio State is just dominating, and Wisconsin could only hope to maybe try to push this game out. Maybe if they can get a Baron steal or something like that, they could have a chance of getting into this late game and then evening out the odds a little bit more. But until then, they're really at the mercy of OSU.
Yeah, it is an uphill battle. It's 18 minutes in, and it is a 12,000 gold lead on the side of the Buckeyes right now. That is an insanely large gold lead for 18 minutes into the game. Sometimes you don't even see that large of a gold lead at a 30 to 40 or 50-minute game in. So that is absolutely insane. You can see that they've got so many more items completed on the side of the Ohio State squad. It is definitely an uphill battle here for the Badgers if they want to dig themselves out of this hole.
Yeah, even though they do have this humongous disadvantage over OSU, there is still a chance they can come back. Picks here and there, little things like maybe catching the Caitlyn out, or catching the Zyra out, or catching the Camille out, or being able to steal maybe a dragon or a Baron here and there. That can change the entire tides of this war. But the one thing you can notice with OSU is they have great communication, and they're staying in like pairs of 2. The Zyra's always sticking with that Caitlyn, so that the Caitlyn never gets picked out. The Camille is just mobile on herself, so she can run away, and the Sion is just super tanky, so you usually can get away, especially with that ult. So it's just great communication and movement with OSU for this game, while but Wisconsin's is just really restricted to right now defending that mid lane and being at and trying to react more towards what OSU decides to do.
Yep, and speaking of that, the gong has rung. He wants the dinner bell. He wants to go on in. Hextech Ultimatum is used as well. Immediately deleted. The Johnson is just taken down. And it seems like no matter what Wisconsin tries to do, they're just not getting anywhere with this team. And we've got Dare Defy pushing down in that bottom lane. Ohio State pushing him with the Super Minions mid lane, likely transitioning down to get that bottom inner tower.
Yeah, and it seems like I think the Kazakhs is not planning with the team as much. Not much communications going off because when he went in, nobody else was around, and since he actually went in on the Camille, who was also with the Caitlyn, he didn't even get that isolation bonus. So I feel like the Kazakhs is starting to tilt a little bit, in my opinion.
Oh, the Badgers are definitely on tilt right now, and they're just trying to do whatever they can to keep themselves in this game. But unfortunately, the amount of siege and crowd control that Ohio State has at their disposal with the Anivia wall and ultimate and the Caitlyn trap just makes it so incredibly hard to not siege against this Ohio State team, to be able to survive a siege against this Ohio State squad. We've got another fight breaking on out. There's Chain Crush is broken in. Immediately, D-Ice is taken down. A little bit too greedy there. But Ohio State is playing with house money. They might be able to afford if they lose this fight. They do take that bottom inhibitor tower as well. Looks like they're posturing around to get that inhibitor backing off. Playing a little bit safer, knowing that their jungler is down. Oh man, Emerald Plastic almost taken all the way down. The Galio ultimate has to use defensively just to keep him alive.
Yeah, and it seems like the Camille did get picked out a little bit, and so that was a poor play on OSU's part. But I think that little bit of a death is not going to change too much of the position that was in right now, where their base is slowly but surely crumbling, like a very poorly made cheesecake.
Yep, it is definitely crumbling, and I feel like Ohio State is hungry to finish off this game, maybe get to those dining halls before they close, or it gets too late on this Monday evening, but let's see what happens here. They are pushing on in full force with that lone super minion, but they are pushing in. Desire ultimate is popped. The Stranglethorn's knocked up. Imperial Trinity. Imperial Trinity is taken down. And it might just be that this is the final push for Ohio State. You've got Dean Ice leading those super minions back into the base. That top Nexus tower is down to about an eighth of health, and they block the wall and the unstoppable onslaught. Immediately deletes Emerald Plastic, and Ohio State most certainly will take down this final game. They're doing one last thing to try to survive, but Mike's taken down immediately. The slicing nails from the flash, not enough, just way too far behind. Only one item completed on the cannon. They're still trying to survive just to maybe pad the stats a little bit, but there's just nothing there that can be done now. Ohio State's certainly just going to finish this off, maybe pad a little bit of their stats this time. The Buckeyes most certainly taking down. Let's see if they can finish off, get one more kill. Double kill for Dare Defy. Jumping in, he does the first time, actually, that the Anivia passive has been there, and they might finish the game with the Egg Anivia. The note comes on back. Maybe looking for that Varus, that Chain of Corruption, a little bit more damage. But Ohio State just wants to finish it off. Final score, 26-7, 22:38 into the game. Ohio State beats the Wisconsin Badgers 2-0.
Yeah, that 18K gold lead is insane. OSU basically, that was, again, just like the first match, early game was the deciding factor. And they just, once the snowball started to roll down the hill, it just started to get more and more bigger to the point where it's just the size of a boulder, and they crushed Wisconsin. And it was just no coming back after these gold lead was just too immense for them. And the constant pressure from OSU, which was great plays by them.
Yeah, absolutely. You just see from across the board, you've got in pretty much every lane, with the exception of the bottom lane, a farm lead for all the major carries. And more importantly, you've got those item leads. So when you look at those 26 kills, and also you've got the 0 deaths on the mid lane on Dare Defy and Remind Me Remy, you got no deaths on them. You only have 1 death on Scion. The most deaths you have is in Dean Ice in that jungle. And that was just from a lot of risky plays and misplays there. But you just have such a high kill and assist ratio from the Ohio State squad, just badgering the Badgers here.
Yeah, so who do you think was the most valuable player? I feel that the Anivia was definitely doing a lot of damage, but I feel like Scion was everywhere. And anytime there was a fight with multiple people, Scion was right there with his ult or TPing in or being able to help CC down a champ to be able to get that final kill. So who do you think was the most valuable player this game?
I would honestly have to say it is a close toss-up, but I'm going to have to go with Dare Defy's Anivia, because he was able to not only play against the Gallium matchup, which was most likely, I cannot confirm this, but it was most likely pretty early picked against him as the Gallio, and able to counter it with the Anivia, because the key thing with the way that Wisconsin probably wanted to run their comp was being able to get that Gallio around the map, because you have more mobility than Anivia. But the fact that Dare Defy was able to just continually pressure down DeFeasties Gallio, it just meant that there was absolutely nothing that could be done on the side of Wisconsin to be able to make any of those plays, or even when they jump in, have any sort of a chance against the Ohio State squad.
All right, well, guys, that was match 2. It seems like that Wisconsin will be coming down with the loss here, with OSU taking 2-0 to them. And it was a great match. I had a great time casting with you baskets, and I hope you guys enjoyed these 2 matches here on ACEL Main. And I hope you join us for tomorrow for a bunch of fun league games as well, starting at 8 o'clock. I believe it's Pacific Standard Time. And it was a great night, and I hope you enjoyed yourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming from you from the Midwestern Conference here of the ACEL. Thank you all for joining us. I'm Baskin Knives. Oh my gosh, he is Sinful Wishing. I forgot his name. I'm so sorry. He is Sinful Wishing. I'm Baskin. Ohio State versus Wisconsin. Battle of the Big Ten. Buckeyes coming out strong, finishing 2-0. The playoffs are starting soon, so stay tuned for more details on that as those come up. Otherwise, have a great rest of your evening, everyone.